Okay, it's Android Authority reporting live here from Barcelona Mobile World Congress. I'm here with Christian Hamann.
Yes.
And he's the HTML5 spokesperson, sorry about that, with the Mozilla Foundation, and he has a hands-on demo of the Firefox OS, and we're going to be taking a look and diving in. So why don't you just start talking about it? What are we looking at here?
What you're looking at here is a Firefox OS device. It's a very, very low-level device. Basically, if I had Android on it, the only Android that would still run is Honeycomb.
Okay.
So the idea of that one is that we bring web connectivity to people who cannot afford smartphones. So we bring emerging markets like South America is where we're going to start, Eastern Europe. So our idea of Mozilla as a foundation is to bring the web to people. And if right now this means that you have to have a lot of money for a new smartphone every 2 months, that's just not fair.
No.
So we thought it's a good idea to bring a platform into the play that could run on very, very low spec hardware, but still have a good performance. Of course, you can't compare it with a Nexus 4 right now or with an iPhone 5, but actually the idea is that we want to replace feature phones with this. So we want to get rid of the old Nokias, Samsungs, Ericssons, Motorolas. People should be should be allowed to be on the web and use the social web and not only play snakes and send their people text messages.
Of course, yeah.
So everything you see here is HTML5, CSS, okay. HTML, and JavaScript. All of it, the operating system itself and the applications. Everything else in there is a Linux core, the same Linux core that's under Android called Gonk, okay. And that gave us access to the hardware, and that way we got the apps there. You see all the apps that you would expect. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got the Nokia maps. The wireless here is a bit flaky, so sometimes it can take a while to load. But these are Nokia maps running on a device now with 256 meg of RAM and a 1 gigahertz processor.
Pretty impressive.
So that's pretty sweet. The other thing we have is that we are going to markets where people actually pay by the megabyte. So seeing that all the apps are HTML5, they're much smaller than their equivalents in the Android market. So the good thing about that one is I don't have to actually install 32 meg just to start tweeting. I can just go on Twitter and do that quickly. I also have a full control over how many things I've already used and how many of my megabytes are already used and what I used them on, 3G or Wi-Fi. And when I get into the 1 meg or something, then it starts getting red and I get alerts. So I make sure that when I'm on roaming, I'm not actually paying through my nose.
Good.
We have a marketplace, much like anybody else. So like the Android marketplace or the iOS marketplace. One main differentiator is that you buy the app once and you can install it on many devices you want to, on desktop, on tablets, and on the phone. Because I myself, I hate that I have to de-emphasize one computer before I go to the next one. The really amazing thing though is that instead of having to go through Marketplace, as all of these things are HTML5, they can be indexed on the web as well. Yeah. Which means we have this system here called Dynamic App Search. So I can now search for a band, like I can search for U2 because I don't want to type many things in. And you see in the background I got U2, and it gave me the apps that actually have content of U2, like Grooveshark, SoundCloud, Wikipedia, or YouTube, or Metro Lyrics and Songkick. So I did not need to know the names of the apps. I just wanted to go from my content to the app itself. I can then click on the SoundCloud app, for example. I load the HTML5 mobile version of it to preview it. I play with the app. I play a song. If I like the app, then I can keep it, but I can actually just discard it as well. So it's actually the same way as browsing the web. We made app discovery and app usage as easy as using the web. Wow. Now, if I liked SoundCloud, I can go back to that, do a long click, and basically just install it on my device as well. So I can then install it to the home screen. This is not a bookmark like it is on iOS. This is actually just putting the app on my computer and doing all the app caching as well. It gets the data offline. So next time when I'm there, SoundCloud is much faster because I don't have to download the interface anymore because it's already there for me. Cool. So the benefit of all of this is that the phone will be very, very cheap to achieve, and it is actually updating constantly as well. So I don't have the problem that a very low-end phone doesn't get newer versions of the operating system that quickly. And we worked a lot with our partners. We got 19 different providers that actually want to do it with us. We got things like Telefonica, Telenor, and others. And we got 4 different hardware providers that want to build Firefox OS phones already. The other benefit, of course, is if I got Firefox running on my Android, any of these applications can be installed on my Android and run full screen as applications as well.
So when do you think we're going to be seeing Firefox phones in the wild, though, to go to market?
Autumn is the thing that that our partners are going for. We build the operating system. We actually don't build the system itself.
Okay.
But the main thing is right now as a developer, I can get a Geeks phone. You can actually go to geeksphone.com. You can buy one of those and test them out. You can also flash Firefox OS on older Androids like Nexus S and Nexus S2. That's what we used as test devices before. But the best way to actually get a phone with the same specification as the phone that will be in the market is getting one of those Geeks phones. You can build 90% of the app actually on your desktop as well, because there's an emulator built into Firefox, so you can do it on a Mac, on Linux, on Windows, wherever you want to use it. So Firefox OS is basically bringing the web to the phone rather than having the web as the last app on the phone that you just use when you don't find another app.
So aside from ZTE, can you share some information about the hardware partners?
The hardware partners are Alcatel-Lucent. Then we have who else? Sony just announced one.
Sony, yeah.
Sony UA announced one, and LG.
And LG. Oh, that's fantastic. Well,
it is very, very cool that a year ago this was an empty folder on our desktop. 2 years ago, 1 year ago, we had a phone here that was a demo, and now we got so many partners and basically the phone's out. It's really, really nice to see.
Well, I wish you all the best, and we love your philosophy to bring more connectedness to the rest of the world that doesn't necessarily have the economic resources to be able to justify.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir. Okay.